Hi guys, hallo Leute, welcome back to German with Jenny. In this video, I want to talk about modal particles once again, specifically about the modal particle denn. Before we get started, I just want to clarify something. When do we use modal particles? Modal particles are used in colloquial speech. You can also use it in written language when you're talking or writing with your friends on Facebook or on WhatsApp, or when you're sending an email to a friend. That's when you would use a modal particle. You would not use a modal particle in formal communication, in a formal letter or in a formal email. Modal particles are only used in informal language. And there's something else I wanted to say before we get started. Some of you commented underneath my first video about modal particles that these sentences are not C1, this video is not C1. It's not the difficulty of the words or the sentences that makes this topic C1. It's about being able to use it when you speak. And I do not suggest using modal particles as a beginner. So if you're a beginner, or even if you're an intermediate learner, do not use modal particles because it can be very confusing and it can even lead to misunderstandings if you do not use them correctly. You need to feel 100% confident speaking German. You need to feel confident using the language. You need to be able to know conjugations, declensions, adjective endings. You need to be able to construct a sentence. The words need to be in the right order. If you're still having trouble with that, don't use modal particles. Just don't watch this video and focus on the things that you still have to learn before learning about modal particles. This is a concept, it's a very advanced concept, and you shouldn't learn about it too early because it's just going to confuse you. It's going to confuse you. It's going to confuse the people that you're speaking to. You really need to have a feeling for the language. You need to really feel comfortable. You need to have a really good speaking level. And so you should only start looking at modal particles in the C1 level. All right, let's get started. The modal particle denn is used to express surprise, criticism, or an interest. And it's only used in questions, only in questions. Let's say your friend has a new pet, and that pet looks really weird. It has fur, but it also has scales. It's just a really weird pet. So you could react by saying, was ist das denn? Was ist das denn? So you're kind of interested to know what kind of pet this is. You don't really know, and you're just expressing your interest. Was ist das denn? Let's say you're working at a company and there's a new guy walking in. You've never seen him before, but you think that he's really cute. I guess you could say to your coworker, wer ist das denn? Wer ist das denn? Those of you with kids probably come home sometimes and discover a huge mess. In that situation, you can say, was ist denn hier los? What the heck is going on here? Was ist denn hier los? Let's say your friend bought some new shoes and you think they're really strange. In that situation, you could say, was sind das denn für Schuhe? Was sind das denn für Schuhe? Or your friend bought a really, really old car. You could say, was ist das denn für ein Auto? Was ist das denn für ein Auto? You're surprised because she thought she would buy a newer car, but she bought this really, really old car. Let's say you can't find your wallet, and this happens to you a lot, and you're a little annoyed about it. You could express that by saying, wo ist denn schon wieder mein Portemonnaie? Wo ist denn schon wieder mein Portemonnaie? Let's say your friend tells you that she wants to lose weight, and you think she doesn't need to lose weight. You could say, wie viel wiegst du denn? Wie viel wiegst du denn? But I guess you have to be careful with that one. It should be a really, really good friend. Let's say your partner's up in the attic and she calls you for help. And so you're wondering what he or she's doing up there. So you could say, was machst du denn? Was machst du denn? Let's say you come home one day and there are a lot of people in front of your house. So you're asking yourself, what are they doing there? So you could say, warum stehen denn so viele Leute vor meinem Haus? Warum stehen denn so viele Leute vor meinem Haus? Your son is eating really fast. So you could say, warum isst du denn so schnell? Why the heck are you eating so fast? Warum isst du denn so schnell? You come into the kitchen and you notice it's really dirty. Warum ist denn die Küche so schmutzig? Warum ist denn die Küche so schmutzig? Let's say your neighbor parked in your driveway and you're a little surprised. You could say, warum hat denn der Nachbar in meiner Einfahrt geparkt? Warum hat denn der Nachbar in meiner Einfahrt geparkt? Your partner is really mad and you don't really know why. You could say, warum bist du denn so sauer? Warum bist du denn so sauer? Let's say your kids start yelling all of a sudden. You could tell them, Warum schreit ihr denn so? Warum schreit ihr denn so? You see your neighbor running naked through his backyard. You could ask yourself, Warum rennt denn der Nachbar nackt durch den Garten? Warum rennt denn der Nachbar nackt durch den Garten? I figured it'd be fun if I have at least one naked example in my modal particle videos. Alright, now you know how to use the modal particle denn in German. Why don't you come up with some examples of your own? You can use the comment section below. Wir sehen uns beim nächsten Mal. Tschüss!